the last time we checked in with Eric Von Anken in Bradenton, he left us with a cliffhanger. He was talking about this gentleman named John who had come upon some really bad luck. So, Eric, can you pick up your story from where you left off?
Yeah, of course, Ginger and Matt. And by the way, I'm glad you guys interrupted me because obviously the focus is everybody in Central Florida. I know everybody's counting on us right now. This is what we do. This is the time that you need. I tell you, my wife and my kids are home right now watching us. This information is so important. So anytime, just interrupt me. I'm just telling you the story of what we're seeing out here on the Gulf Coast of Florida, right around downtown Bradenton. This is the Riverwalk, and what I was trying to say before is, so this is John's boat. And when we first encountered John about an hour ago, things were not good for him. He just discovered that his boat broke free from the mooring and ended up here against the seawall. And you see the boat, it's listing. And so he was feeling like all is lost. His generator had just cut out. His bilge pump just stopped. So what I was saying is we put some gas in his generator. We put a couple gallons in, and then we were able to plug his pump that had plugged into his internal generator to at least keep water pumping out. It was a bit of a struggle because he had locked down the generator on the bow of the boat, one, so it didn't slide into the water, and two, so nobody could take it. But we had to get that off the front of the boat and bring it back here so we could plug it in and also fill it up. And the other thing is he was able to get his van here, so now we helped him with a few loads of stuff. Now he can finally unload the rest of the stuff onto his van. But here's a bright spot, if there's any, tonight in this situation for this gentleman. Like I was saying, he poured 3 years of his life into this boat, restoring it. Now he feels that if this pump continues to run all night long and pumps out some of the water, because what he didn't realize is the vents on the side were taking on the water. He had a window actually open. He just found that and he shut the window. So he feels if he pumps all night long, he might be able to get the boat to come back up. Is it salvageable? He was explaining to me what has to go into it. He was talking about how he tore it apart 3 years ago, and now he's saying everything's filled with salt water. So it's going to take some serious work. But my point is there is hope tonight for this gentleman, because at least he's getting some of the water out, and at least he feels that the boat isn't going to roll over. That was his biggest fear. But this also is, plays into the bigger picture here. So we were talking about this too about an hour ago, that it's boats all up and down the west coast of Florida, all up and down the Gulf Coast, and it's houses. And so this back here, it's not storm surge. So remember we were talking that projections were that they were supposed to get anywhere from 12 to 16 feet of storm surge. That didn't happen north where the hurricane made landfall, about, like I said, 58, 60 miles south of where we are, right around the Fort Myers area. So the storm surge never appeared here. This is just a lot of wind and a lot of waves banging into the seawall and crashing over. But we really haven't seen widespread flooding here in Bradenton. Once you start to go a little bit south in Sarasota County and then Lee County and Collier County where Fort Myers is, that's where the real flooding is, and especially out on the barrier islands. And to be fair, we have not been out on the barrier islands here in Bradenton, but if this is any indication, certainly some of the islands and some of those low-lying houses there are underwater. Again, to be clear, this is not ocean water. This is not the Gulf at all. This is a river that is, I don't know, maybe a half mile across or so, that goes down in the intercoastal. It's not even the intercoastal, but that is the power of this hurricane that still is we've now been at it for 24 hours, Ginger, Matt, and we're still near, probably under hurricane force winds, but it's not easing up yet.
I am stunned that the conditions have held in that area for as long as we have seen. We have been coming to Eric Von Anken for so long today.
It's not easing up. It doesn't look like it. And I'm just so happy that he is trying to get results for John out there, and said that there is some hope tonight. And our hope is that hope floats, and John and his boat is saved. So thank you, Eric, for the help out there.
That was good. That was on the spot right there. Sure. That's impressive.